Welcome to Out of the Blues, Off the Wall.
Yeah, but not over me. Right. Welcome to Out of the Blue, Off the Wall video podcast. We have in the room Rob Woodford from Block Floor. And we also have Chris Bethell. And when I can get my mouse working, we have Eammon Barclay. Welcome, sir. Good morning. And of course, we start after a fantastic away victory at Leeds in the F.A.Cup. So, let's just go around the room, guys. 2-0 away at Leeds. Rob.
Great result, but not just a great result, a great performance. And we played without fear. We got on the front foot, took it to them, and there's some real star performances yesterday. I thought the goalkeeper played well. Wes Harding had a great game. And the boy that made his debut, he's showed some composure, although he's a little bit. He needs to get up to mark on the speed of the game at this level. But I can see we've got a good prospect there. Yeah, wonderful to get in the hat for the next round. Any of the Manchester clubs will do at the Den for me.
Right, Chris.
Hello.
What do you reckon on yesterday?
I thought we was exceptional. I thought Roberts was unbelievable.
Absolutely sensational.
Aziz should have got hat-trick.
Yeah.
I thought the whole team really played well. Even the substitutes that come on, like for like, they got involved. And we got players on the transfer who we got on the transfer didn't even get on the pitch, and we've got players coming back from injuries. So we've got a good squad. And I think the manager, although it's early days, 4 wins on the trot.
I'll argue with that.
Record it's unbelievable. I
think we ought to just say a word about Wes Harding, who hasn't played all season, didn't play for a lot of last season, came in, did a fantastic job. Absolutely.
I think it's interesting that the manager wants his right fullback to get forward, and his left fullback to stay at home, and that's quite radical, isn't it? Really.
Well, it's different.
And I think Wes Harding, he got up the wing, didn't he? Put some crosses in, and just like Kramer was doing.
I was surprised he lasted the as long as he did, to be honest. Because
I think he was puffing and blowing towards the end. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, a little bit.
But Chris mentioned the substitutes. A big shout out for George Honeyman and Watmore, because they made the game scrappy, and that's what we needed to do.
The
last 15 minutes. The same way that George Saville does it, doesn't he? He takes players out when all he's doing is he's breaking the game up to stop.
I mean, the commentators were banging on about Chambers. Oh, what a great young player this. He was rubbish, I'm afraid.
No, I think he's a good prospect, Mike.
He might be a good prospect, but in front of goal yesterday, he had a clear shot on Roberts.
It's a massive game for him when it was a kid of 17 years old.
Eammon, your take on yesterday?
I thought he was exceedingly good, as Mr. Kipling might say. They certainly came out and started how they wanted to carry on. No doubt about that. Interesting fact that you mentioned there regarding keeping the left back and the right back as a wing back, because perhaps that's just the best way to play Brian. And we need to consider that, because when he's been flying down the wing at quite some exceptional speed, he doesn't have to seem to have the same velocity in his pace when he returns. So I think that's something that Alex Neil has seen and decided how to get on with it. So, no, I think that's good. I'm just going
to tweak your microphone.
Technology, eh?
Yeah, too much technology there. We had extra people wanting to join us. No, it was, and there was some really good stuff. Nagley is undoubtedly a guy who can hang the ball up around him, and he's not flustered by those around him. He was unlucky, I think, not to get
Oh, and again.
Push the
dear.
right button over.
It's terrible being on the phone, isn't it? As well. Yeah, he had a good game, and so did the keeper. He really did save us early doors in keeping some shots out, and later on, a great penalty save. He done a
Fantastic.
lot for that, and I thought it was an all-round good performance. Could I knock anyone for not doing as much as they could? Well, no, not really. I think Dinor done well to come back from that awful tackle that he suffered.
Yeah, it was dreadful.
And I read in the papers today that what's his name, Chrissy Mew, is saying it's Denore who should have had a red card there yesterday for the tackle that he put in.
I don't know
against
what game it was.
Canoto, yeah, or whatever his
But
name.
I mean, the commentators were so biased; it was unreal, and it was almost like they had to say something nice about Millwall, but they
No, the Irish ones were very good, actually.
Yeah, it depends
Well,
what feed you were watching, Mike. You know.
Yeah,
well,
don't
watching
believe
Kenny
you're all
Cunningham
listening to
on
the same
Irish
commentators.
TV.
I think I got the Sky guy, and he was creaming over Leeds, you know, all the way through. Even when they were 2-0 down, he was saying that Leeds will come back. They've got to come back. They've got the quality. Yeah, nothing about our quality or anything, was there? But there you go. Right, let's move on. Transfers window. I mean, look, I've had to write them all down. We've got, let me go through them. Aaron Connolly from Sunderland. Benicio Baker Boatley from Brighton.
Call him Triple B.
Yeah, Triple B. Tristan Kramer, Luke Cundall, AJ Matthews, Camille Nigley, Mihailo Ivanovic, who was already there, really. Zach Lovelace has come back from Rangers, no doubt eating lots of humble pie. And Zach Sturge and Romain Esse obviously went out. Tom Bradshaw went out, and Connor Truman has gone to Crawley. So, and Adam Meyer has gone to Bromley on loan. So there you go. That's some window, isn't it?
Yeah. And the one going back to Liverpool has gone back to Liverpool, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's
Scanlon.
exciting window, a brave one. It's shows ambition. It comes with risks, of course, but we seem to be using the money wisely. We're not splashing out on big money signings and probably not paying ridiculous wages. So he's keeping the dressing room tight. We're going to have a stronger bench. If you look around the Championship, all the teams in the top half of the table have got strong benches. And we've got some rough diamonds there we can polish up, and if they sparkle on the park, then we can sell them on for a bigger transfer fee and do the whole process again. And if we do that transfer window after transfer window, we'll progress as a club year on year.
Asset management is really important, and I was glad to hear that was the focus that we were bringing. Fairbrother mentioned that we were bringing, because all we've ever done for many, many years now is go down a route of getting players in, trying to hold on to them. Their, I suppose, contracts expiring, and off they go somewhere else. We've got to sell at their peak and bring in others to replace.
It's a good strategy, because this transfer window, this January transfer window, in the past has given us people like Rob Hulse, Ngeson, Zahor, Sheojo, you know, players that are never going to kick on, you know. So this shows a lot of promise to me. And some of these lads won't hit the first team straight away. They've got to do their time in the under-21s. But it's going to give us competition for places as well, which is a manager's dream. And when you think that the Plymouth game on Wednesday is the start of 4 matches in 10 days, that's quite grueling, isn't it? You've got to have a big squad to contest those. And 3 of those matches are on the road, aren't they?
Do you know what I noticed from a lot of the commentators is that they're saying, they're concentrating on the fact that Millwall have won 4 in a row. They're also talking about squads, but they're talking about us like we haven't got many new players in. And they're trying to compare us to things like Sheffield United and Middlesbrough and all the rest of it. And I just think we have a bunch of players that are going to surprise the Championship. I think they do, because not many people know about these young men. And I think they're going to come in and do a job, you know. So that's just my thoughts on it.
He's got a lot of juggling to do because you've got all the 10 injuries. You've got 3 coming back straight away now. So you've got 8 transfers.
Yeah.
3 players coming back from injury. He's got a lot of juggling to do. And you've got all these youth players that started coming through. I mean, Lee was on the bench yesterday.
It's good to see Kelly get on as well yesterday.
Yeah, I mean,
Does he look taller? Does anybody know?
he looks a lump, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It looks like we've got quite a big squad. Within the next month, well, especially after the international break, we can have a massive squad. I mean, we can't even get them on the back of the programme. We've now got to take players out of the squad. We can get the list. The list has now hit the referees. If you look at the back of the programme, it's and I should imagine a lot of that SA money has gone to buy Calmont Road, because all of a sudden we sold it and we've just bought a freehold. So now Huskies are gone. Obviously, the one in Kent will go because there's no money to launder.
I think there is. Apparently, that is being developed, but it's still it's an ongoing thing.
I think.
Can I just interrupt there, Chris? You've got insider information. I know. What's the score on the Kent situation? You're very close to it. I know.
Well, there's like Mike's just said, they're developing, but there's no one working on it. It's like the M25 motorway. You can go.
So is it being sold? That's what I want to know.
Well,
it's important.
It looks like it, don't it? Because
right, okay, I'll take your word for that, Chris. It's good.
Calmont, and there's a field behind there where the footpath is, and it looks like that's where they want to develop there. That's going to cost money. Whether they've got any money from the sale of Kent, whether they've bought it's another thing. That money might be owed, as Millwall's money was with the sponsorship was owed. It was never paid. I mean, I don't even think the food in the box was paid for. Certainly not the helicopters from Battersea Airport or the Bentley that they were driving. So whether that's paid for, because I think that was sponsors' money, I don't know.
My take on it is that, look, West Kingsdown.
There's a long line of debt.
West Kingsdown.
How much is there in the debt then, Chris, from Huskies?
I don't know.
Come on, you must have a touch because you're saying it.
I wouldn't go live on here telling something that I don't know. No.
Okay.
My take on it is that, look, West Kingsdown looks absolutely amazing on paper. However, purchasing Calmont Road, which is closer to where our natural home is, would be a more sensible view. But I mean, if it ever comes to pass that we manage to sell a player for 200 million, then we might start to develop West Kingsdown.
Yeah, we've got Fleming's money coming in. We've got Fleming's money coming in, don't forget.
Well, let's see.
That's going to come in. And
it is.
We'll probably be looking at developing then. But don't forget, we own Sparrows Lane. We had freehold at Sparrows Lane.
Right.
We sold that off to rent Calmont Road.
I mean, don't forget that the resurgence of the area around Bermondsey, according to the paperwork, is that we will eventually own everything and become landlords. Now, if we become landlords, right, we'll have people in those dwellings paying rent to the football club. Therefore, that should, in theory, pay for itself, and we'll be quite a well-off club. I mean, all landlords are quite well off comparatively. So, I mean, if that development ever happens and they start to renew around the ground, then we could be quids in, really.
Well, I don't know. That's not how it works. I mean, I worked in that area for Wander Housing for 20 years, and the block of flats as you come out of Ilderton Road, that's all Wander Housing, and at the beginning, I think we had about 1,500 homes there. Right. We was ready to build on the car park of Millwall, and there was they pulled out. There was a bit of aggravation. So we went to AFC Wimbledon, give them 5 million, and we got the flats round AFC Wimbledon because we had the workforce and all the to pull off of them flats at Eldon Road. We was going to go on to Joiners Land and start there. We was ready to go on there, pulled out, go to AFC Wimbledon, give them 5 grand, pay the community millions every year.
5 million. 5 grand or 5 million?
5 mil. Yeah, well, that's nothing when you pay for the community because when you put the flats there, all of a sudden you're involved in the community with the housing association. So you pump a lot of money in because it's your tenants. We was going to do that with Millwall. We couldn't get on there, so we moved all the people to Wimbledon.
To be honest, it's about time they put a decent car park in so that supporters can have somewhere to park.
Like that, if they do build the flats, Millwall, even if they own it, won't get the money because nowadays 33% has got to go to housing. There'll be people, so the council tax will go to the council, and they won't be paying the rent anyway because they're social housing. So there ain't no rents. 77%. No, let's have a look. 67% could be rents, could be private sales, but you've also always got to look at a third of it. It's not going to be. You've got to do social housing now. Any new build, all them flats that are being built down Ilderton Road now, a percentage has got to go to social housing. That's the law. So, yes, so when you look at it, that's quite a lot. That's quite a lot of rents.
But if Millwall owned the land, I was always informed by a great-grandfather, if you want money, you own a piece of land. So,
yeah, but only if it's your own house. When you're building a block of flats, that changes.
Yeah.
It changes because you've got to remember, even though you built it, the council are going to run it. The council are going to run it because you pay council tax and they're going to collect all your waste.
Can I just ask, changing the subject slightly, Rob pointed this out a few weeks ago to me. We are in the 140th year of Millwall Football Club, so it's an anniversary, and yet Millwall don't seem to be bigging that up or celebrating it at all. Any reasons why?
Early days, they like to do something. When they do an event, it's done 2 weeks before.
Right.
Right. They'll have a meeting. I've had meetings at Millwall. They have a meeting, like I had a meeting in November and I heard nothing. It's nearly March.
Yeah.
So it looks like there's no Dockers Day.
Well, as you probably know, I've designed a shirt emblem for the 140th anniversary of Millwall, and those are available if anybody wants one. But apart from that, nobody seems to be saying anything about it. It's very strange.
It might be just a bit too early, Mike. I mean, our foundation was in 1885, the midsummer of 1885, wasn't it?
That's an interesting point, actually, Rob. I agree with you.
Yeah, so you're looking at October, aren't you, for years?
Yeah.
And like this podcast, 10 minutes before we press the button, we're on here. At Millwall now, they do a video the week before the event, and then it starts. And it's like
it should be celebrated. The closest home game to the 3rd of October. That should be the celebration day, if there is one. But it should be an overarching celebration. No doubt you'll carry it in the program, Chris.
Was the what? Sorry.
You'll be promoting the 140th year in the program.
Oh, with next season, but it'd be next season's program.
Yes,
we'll probably put it in the last program, but next season would be 140 years. So same as.
But what I'm saying is the clubs should celebrate the 140, the closest home game to the 3rd of October.
Yes,
next season.
Yeah,
this year.
Yeah. So obviously it would be on the front cover. 140 years. That's what you do. I don't know what events Millwall are going to have, but we'll obviously have our own thing in the programme.
They're not going to drag out some of the players, are they?
Well,
some of the old ones. 140 years old. I was there.
Yeah. Well, you'll be there.
Thank you for that, mate. Yeah, my birthday is the 15th of this month, so just throw that in there so that
Yeah, and there ain't no programme. It's a shame because the Bristol City home game's been cancelled.
no, it's West Brom, isn't it?
We're playing West Brom on the 15th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Bristol City.
So can
Bristol
I just say that any gifts that you want to give me, please, minimum of 50 quid would do nicely. Right, Rob, you had some ideas for an agenda. I've forgotten what they were. So, what would you like to discuss?
You've
next?
forgotten what they are.
Yeah,
well,
they were on an email.
What about how about talking about the first 5 weeks of Alex Neil's tenure? Because
Yeah, fine.
you know, it's all happening in a blast, isn't it? Really, from our chins were on the floor, weren't they? Just before New Year, and as far as I was concerned, he was the best qualified candidate out there for the job, the best of a very small bunch. And look where it is now. You know, that's worthy of discussion, surely.
I think I'd equate it as if you look at our form in December and before, until Alex Neil got into the hot seat, as it were, that Millwall were having problems getting at teams who decided to defend en masse. And we just couldn't break through. Hence, we were only winning 1-0 a lot of the time. But now we seem to be we've seemed to have solved that problem, and we seem to be going through teams and actually scoring goals. The style of play is completely different to what it was under Neil Harris and Gary Rowett. And we seem to have solved the problem of how to get at these teams who decide to defend en masse.
Well, the age-old problem was kept carted out was lack of quality in the final third, you know. But I think we've got a bit of quality now in the final third, and a bit of bravery as well. A bit of, you know, let's have a go at them.
Aren't players playing with a bit more freedom than they did previously as well?
Yes.
So, well, during the programme, I always look at Alex Neil's quotes because I write them in the programme, and every single since he's been there, every single game, it's press, and we press and we press.
Yeah.
And that seems to work. Perhaps like you say, that teams are defending against them. He likes to press. He likes to press on the wings. He likes to press down the middle. He don't want the ball passed along the back. He don't want it back to the goalkeeper. He said, we've got to keep on pressing. I'm writing the quote now for the Leeds game, and that's in that. He said, we went out there and we wanted to press them.
Well, we certainly did that to Leeds. I mean, we basically broke up their rhythm. We stopped them doing whatever they wanted to do. We were intercepting their passing because we were pressing so high on them. And, you know, there's a load of Leeds supporters who say we're lucky and that they only had a second team out. But it doesn't matter. You've got to beat whatever's in front of you. So I think we did a fantastic job.
That team that Leeds put out yesterday would have beaten most teams in the Championship.
Absolutely, yeah.
We had a lot of changes. I mean, what changes we had? We had 2 players that was eligible to play. We brought players that hadn't, like you say, Harding, who hadn't played all season.
Yeah.
So it's 50-50, I would have thought.
Yeah, I think we've done a hell of a job on them, to be honest. And we go back there in a couple of weeks and do it again, hopefully.
Well, I think like Harding, when you brought Harding on, he's got a point to prove. If you're sitting on the bench all season and then you get your chance, that's going to up you 50%. It's like a player coming back to his old club. He wants to score a goal.
Yeah.
And I should imagine Harding went out there and say, well, I'm going to get picked against Plymouth because I'm going to go out. Roberts, look at Roberts.
Oh,
I mean, that's unbelievable.
The word I've heard about him was sensational, and it was a terrific game he played.
Yeah, absolutely. And the game before.
I mean, it was good at Portsmouth as well, wasn't
he? Yeah, I mean.
And the thing that Lucas has always been accused of is he doesn't come out for crosses. And there was Roberts. He's a big old lump anyway. He's coming out, taking crosses, plucking them out of the air. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Oh,
What about Alex Neil though? We were on that subject and we sort of
Yeah.
dropped off that.
Well, he's got a past record that's so good for his promotions, and people.
Yeah, but hang on, Chris. Do you know what I thought when the club decided to appoint him? I'm not so sure it was so much the promotions on his CV, but his success at Preston North End, because they're the same, probably very similar club, aren't we? You know, in terms of resources, finances, you know, a fan base. Where we Millwall and Preston are always one of those teams that at the start of the season, you're thinking, you know, let's get enough points to stay up. You know, but he got Preston into the top half of the table 3 times. So the club must look at that and think, you know, that's what we got to do. We got to sustain ourselves first of all as a championship club. You know, and you know, it looks like we are going to stay up this season, and if we do, that will be 9 consecutive seasons at this level, which equals our all-time record. And once you've sustained, you know, and you are a regular championship club, then you can start looking up.
I think there's that side to it, but I also think there's a line where Alex Neil communicates in a different way, perhaps to others. It's interesting to see that when he was spoken to by the press, and they talked about how the arrangements surrounding bringing players in and transfers, etc., he didn't go down the line of saying, well, I'm the person that brings them in here. He went down the line of saying, it's a team affair. Yeah, I went to Wolves and had a look at Cundall, and that was something that I had to do, and I had to go and have a look at videos of other players. But he didn't see it as being negative, that he wasn't the one that was chasing all around the country or even Europe to go and pick these players up.
Happy days.
And I think that was a big step in the right direction.
Yeah, so he seems more than happy with his role as just as a coach.
Yeah,
not involved in the recruitment. And if he's
he does get involved, but not to the degree that the traditional manager would.
Yeah.
So
sure.
I think that's good.
When he first
must
came
be incredibly demanding looking for players and trying to bring a team to the match on a Saturday.
When he first came in, I thought to myself, I watched his first interview, I thought, oh, God, what a dour Scotsman he is, you know. He wasn't smiling, didn't display great sense of humour or anything like that. And yet after the Pompey game, and ever since, you see him he suddenly started talking about the supporters. And I think the supporters have surprised him a little bit with their enthusiasm and passion and all the rest of it. And he actually looks as though after the Pompey game, he looked really excited, you know, and he thought, wow, look what I've got here. And he's done it ever since. And yeah, that's good.
His post-match interview yesterday for the official Millwall TV was brilliant, I thought.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Getting back to Alex Neil, obviously he's working with Steve Gallen, but the players that are coming on the transfer, I should imagine they was looked at before even Alex Neil come along, because there's the window at the beginning of the season to the window now at Christmas. That's when they're all quiet. Steve Gallen and the recruitment team are looking at players and organising with their agents, the players, and organising with their clubs. And then Alex Neil comes along as manager after Christmas. It was after Christmas, wasn't it? Yeah.
30th of December.
I should imagine that was all ready to go for January. Well, it must have been. Because when you read Steve Gallen's quotes, we've been looking at him for a long while. We've been watching him for a while. So why do people going Gallen out?
Because
nothing he can do in the close season. All he can do is be looking at players. There's nothing on the sites, nothing in the newspapers. They all think he's at home eating cheese on toast, and he's not. He's just running all the way around the country looking at all these players. And now the proof's in the pudding.
I'll contradict you there, Chris, because I know Alex Neil actually went to Wolves to watch Cundall before that was all confirmed.
Yeah.
So I accept that Gallen goes and does the homework, But I think, as Alex Neil said, it's more about a team affair than it is about one man makes all the decisions, job done.
Oh yeah, but was Alex Neil told when he was at Millwall, or did he go and watch him before he was at Millwall to watch Cundall? Because
He
it would have
went
been Steve
while he
Gallen
was
who
at
told him.
Millwall to go and watch Cundall.
Yeah, so it would have been Steve Gallen that said, "Look, we've got him on the radar. Go and have a look."
That's right.
I mean, I've gone to the non-league games, Dorking, and I've sat with Paul Robinson the other week. Players was on loan. They was playing at Dorking. I went down.
Who were they looking at down at Dorking then?
No one. It's the team they were playing. We had players out on loan. So obviously our coaches would go and watch our loan players.
Oh, right.
I think just to...
A lot. Kenny Jackett comes... it might be at Merstrom, it might be at Chipstead, it might be at Leatherhead. Kenny Jackett's everywhere. He's the stalker of non-league, I've got to tell you. And we're always bumping into each other. I went and see the Tooting and Mitcham historian come, and we went and see Lagos play the Cayman Islands. I've gone and see the Falkland Islands. They all play in Surrey for the Surrey FA. They all play behind closed doors at Reigate. And Baz Savage is centre forward for Cayman Islands, our Millwall player. But when you look round, the coaches are there. Like people like Kenny Jackett and Robinson, they go to these games. I see.
How is Kenny now, Chris? Is he all right?
Yeah. He's he was ill,
He's
but
got better.
Kenny's all right. Yeah,
he's
good.
That's good to hear.
Just to return to something you said, Chris, that you watch on social media and people are calling for Gallen to get sacked and all the rest of it. Look, we have a percentage of supporters. Now, most Millwall supporters that I meet are absolutely fantastic people. However, there is a percentage, and I'm sure every club has them, there is a percentage who wouldn't know football if it was smacked in their face, and they really just talk off the top of their arse, basically. And you've got to look at Steve Gallen and say, what has he done for us? Well, look at the players he's brought in. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Most of them have worked out really well. So a big up for Steve Gallen. I think his recruitment team is really good, and which is why we're talking about new players, young players coming in. And it's down to Steve Gallen. He's the head of recruitment, or as they used to call him, a chief scout in the old days, didn't they? But
I would imagine the club would have another interview with him in the next couple of weeks. Just to touch base with him, and then his work starts for the summer window. Then
absolutely,
we've got a lot of senior players that'll be out of contract at the end of the season.
Well, he's quoted on every single player, every single transfer that come in. He's quoted. I've written all the quotes down. Then I couldn't get it all on the pages in the program, so I've had to take his quotes out so that I can get photos of all the. In the next program, there'll obviously be photos of the players that have come in. But he has quoted on every sort of like interview. So he's been interviewed and quoted on every single player. The views on Steve Gallen might have changed now, because now we've got these players in all of a sudden, and they'll probably be knowing that he will now be looking when this window closes to the season starting. Who is he going to get in with Fleming's money? Now that's when Steve Gallen starts working. He's now going to work out how much he's going to get, what the budget is, because obviously he's going to get the budget first before anyone. Season ticket sales, when they sell the adverts, when they sell the concourse pies and the Spitfire beers, because all that money goes in at the beginning of the season, and that's how much money they got. And that's. I mean, I don't want to keep on harping on about the program, but when they had the program, all the adverts that went in the program, they got the money at the beginning of the season. It's a lump sum. They've done whatever they got to do. You know, getting the cherry picker around that paints the top of the stadium. That would probably pay. The adverts would probably pay for that. And then the rest of the season, there's no money coming in. They get the lump sum at the beginning, season tickets, lump sum at the beginning, no more money. Them people now sit in them seats for the rest of the season, no more money coming in. So I should imagine that's given to Steve Gallen. You've got X amount of millions. This is what you're looking at. Then he's got to have a chat with the agents. It's a long process. He's got to sit down and talk to the agents. The player might not even going to come. If I buy a house, I go and visit the street of a night, or I go around there with the weekend with the missus, and we have a look where we're going to live. I should imagine these players are looking on these websites. Don't worry about that. They're looking on them websites to see what you're saying. And then they decide, do I need to go there? Do I need to take my missus? I mean, the players' wives have got a box right in the corner where I sit. When it all went tits up, they weren't in that box. They went up the players' lounge because of the abuse. Now, players are looking at the websites, they're looking at the supporters, do I need this? The good thing is these new signings, a lot of them were England youth players. And when you look at the interviews with the players, they spoke to Essie. Essie said, yeah, it's all right there. Don't believe me.
Yeah, we got a lot to thank this young man for.
And that swayed a few of the players to come to Millwall. The three of them were England youth players.
Every single player that we get in, when they say how have you fitted in with your new mates and everything, and every single one of them says the esprit de corps, the camaraderie. I've been welcomed. It's incredible, and a lot of them are saying I've never seen anything like it. These are players that are a unit, one unit, all of them together. They are a proper team. And I also, it always amazes me as well, how well respected our academy is. There seem to be some really people from all over different clubs and everything. And they all say that Millwall's academy is absolutely superb. So, you know, our future is looking good, I think.
Yeah, we had Bobby Bowery on a little while ago. And Bobby's in the circuit, as I'm sure Chris knows.
I know Bobby well,
regularly. Do you see him regularly, Chris?
Well, my brother-in-law was his chauffeur when he lost his
There you go. So that's it. Yeah, Bobby was talking about...
We drive him mad, did he?
Yeah.
Bobby was talking about the Millwall Academy. He's got his own setup in Selsdon. But he said it's quite inspiring. And how it's been developed and maintained under old Fitzgerald is absolutely incredible. When you start to look at and see what's going on and how they're managing it. But will we take the next step? Because the next step appears you look after those academy players that you let go for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
Will we do that? It'd be interesting because it's all about getting them back into normal life. Perhaps that could be done through our, dare I say, community trust, but we'll see.
Yeah, a lot of them do move into non-league football. When I go to the non-league games, like Bromley, I mean, you look at the Millwall players who are at Bromley now. And even little clubs like Tooting or Merstrom, when you look at their when the 15 and 16-year-olds get released, they're the under-18s there. When you go there, I see Bobby at a lot of the non-league games as well. He travels about, but then again, all ex-professionals that are now agents or working for sports complexes and coaching, they go to these non-league games and I should imagine they're talking to the players that have now left. I feel sorry for the ones that haven't got a job or they haven't, they got no one. And like you say, the community now runs an employment scheme. I think they've been doing it last week for 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds for getting apprenticeships. They could probably get the youth team players going to them or even have a consultation with them. So I think they should be, the community should now really get involved with the academy on them grounds
Get in there, Chris, and get hold of Sean Daly and put your proposal forward.
Yeah, well, I should imagine, yeah. Oh, yeah, I always see Sean.
That's
I
it.
always give him a box of programs when he goes to the schools.
That's
all
good.
the programs that we got left over, I give to him. He takes them to schools. Hopefully, it makes people collect. It makes the players go to these schools. They sign them. The Lionesses sign the programs. Yeah, me and Sean get on well. He always says
That's
hello.
good.
I'll stand by the calf.
Yeah, he says hello to us as well.
Yeah, I'll pass stuff over to him. Anything I've got, the food hub, anything we've got, they can have. I mean, we're the fans program. It's all we're all contributors. We don't get paid. Whatever's left over belongs to the club, as far as I'm concerned, because the club has no problems with me. They even the staff buy the program. I have to deliver the staff's programs, and they pay me.
So what's gone wrong there then, Chris?
What with the program?
Yeah.
Well, it's what I've explained before. At the beginning of the season, do a program. The first thing you have to pay the contractor that prints them. Now that could be £75,000. Right now, he's going to tell you how many you're going to have printed. He's got to get the ink and paper in, because that's a lot. He might have 9,000 programs printed. That's a lot of money over the year. He's got to get that money in, and it's paid at the beginning of the year. Also, the adverts go in. You've got to pay the sellers. The program editor could be on 30 grand a year. Then you've got the photographers. Then you've got the media. Before you know it, before you sold one program, it could cost you 150 grand. Before you even sold a program, you might have 9,000 printed and sell 3,000. Now, I only contributed for about 25 years to the program. Bit of an historian, got a good collection, knew the other historians, knew all the collectors. So I could always get my hands on things to put in the program. So I only done it, and I had no knowledge. I didn't realise I ordered 1,200 programs and took 2 boxes home. And I realised, bloody hell, you've got to work out how many programs you have printed. Then we had a train strike. So you go with 1,200, you're only selling 8. That's 400 programs. That's 2 boxes of programs. Back in the boot of the motor and taking. I had this room I'm sitting in now was full of programs, so I can imagine what Millwall was like having 9,000 printed, and they might have sold 3. That's 6,000. That's a skip every month just to put programs in.
Yeah, that's what they were doing, weren't it? They were chucking a load in the skip after every match.
And I should imagine
they were recycling them. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, recycling skip. Yeah, I should imagine that. It just don't work out. I mean, you've got to think 15 clubs now don't do the program.
And it's growing.
Good news for me. The good news for me is we've been nominated for Program of the Year. I think it's only because of the price of being £1, and all the other clubs are now £4. And there's no adverts in our program. You
better put a shelf up behind you there, Chris, so that you can put the old trophy up there, mate.
I have seen comments from fans of other clubs who've said very complimentary things about the program, and they've said, I can't believe it. It's only £1 at Millwall. Why can't we do that? And so it's making an impact, and well done, because you do a great job. I know you do, and I know you've already got sort of programs ready to be set and pasted up. Two games in advance, so it's a lot of work. But you are making an impact on it, and it is appreciated by visiting supporters as well.
Yeah, but also the away clubs, like Michael Hewitt, he's always on telly on the auctions, and he's well known. Michael Hewitt, he's got the program shop at Leeds, and he'll phone me up and said, "Oh, Chris, save me a box." Now we're talking 350 programs. Save me a box, and he comes and picks a box up early of the Millwall program. So obviously I'll go to the printer and order a few more. But he spread the word around the other clubs, because he goes to the other clubs and buys the programs for Leeds. I mean, Man United have 5,000. They got a staff of 6 people sending programs all over the world. So, and Leeds are massive collectors. But he spread the word. And now I've got Portsmouth have phoned me up, their supporters club, right, save us programmes, Sheffield United, Blackburn, and he spread the word for me. As he's collected, he said, oh, by the way, Millwall do it. Here's the fella's email address. I get emails now, and I save them a certain amount. Our own supporters come first. I don't sell programmes in the away end. Reason being is I could be in there for an hour, sell 50 programmes. I could be under the arch and sell 200. So it's pointless. And our own supporters come first. If the away supporters can get round to me and they want to buy 20 to take back, that's up to them. But we now worked out what we can sell. So we're sold out and we can get to our seat. I've said to the sellers are all volunteers, you know, the game comes before the programme. You see the game. You don't buy a season ticket and miss the game. You go to the game. You've got to be, whether we've sold out or not, put them in the boot of the motor and get in your seat 15 minutes before the game. That's most
very honourable of you, Chris.
Got to do that.
Is the Netflix film any further ahead?
No, right. So Ellen, yeah. So my daughter knows well and everything. Is when John Berylson was there, and because she lives in America, she could get access at Boston. She could get access to John Berylson. So it was all running smoothly. She come and stayed here. She went with Dave Sullivan and done the grand tour and loved it. And we told her she was going to go on the other tour over the island. Still may, but still might do that because now she's met a fella in Greenwich. So yeah, that still might be on. And she's so we'll try and organise that.
Good. I'm looking forward to that. I keep telling people.
Yeah, and so what happened was he.
Is that our tour?
Yeah, no. So that all went up in the air, and we was the American owners of Wrexham, and we had the American owners of Millwall. So they went with Wrexham. They was doing that, and it all sort of like fell through because of John Berylson. They got to get hold of James, have a chat with him. The Millwall side of it was more or less done. So it's all up in the air now, but I think it may, if we do well, it may come. I may take them on the island tour once they've seen that. That's a bit more. That's another episode.
You have to ask nicely, Chris.
Huh?
You have to ask nicely.
Yeah, no vaping. Random. These Americans don't like vaping.
They don't like smoking either, funny enough.
I know, I tell you, I can't tell you. And they tell you.
Why would you know?
They won't tell you. They will say, no. It's like, stop.
I don't like vaping. It's more dangerous than smoking. It really is. But anyway, that's another subject. Right.
Just one touch for you, Mike. Get hold of that Chris Hayward we had on our show this week.
Right.
His grandfather used to play for Millwall on the Isle of Dogs.
What was his surname? Hayward?
Give me a contact.
Yeah.
Give me a contact for him in Messenger or something, and we'll do that. But okay, so
Eammon, is that your recent show?
Yeah.
No, I haven't listened to that one yet.
It's
So much to listen to now that you've got to kind of.
There's lots to listen to. Phil Coleman tells the story of
Phil
Anderson.
He's got lots of stories, Phil.
And why he never became an international for the Republic of Ireland.
Oh, right.
All right. I'm going to listen to that now. But okay, we've done the programme plug, big time.
Can I just go back to what you said about Phil, Eammon?
Yeah.
When he came on the tour a while ago, he walking along the street and he said to me, you know, I didn't have a really good relationship with Peter Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
And if I saw him walking across the road there now, I'd go and give him a smack in the boat. So they didn't get on at all.
No.
What he actually said, he was in the cafe at the time. He says, I don't hate anybody, but if Peter Anderson walked through the door, he'd go out through the window.
Pick a window, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Pick a window. Yeah. Phil
No,
Coleman,
tragic
Phil
story.
Coleman has got hundreds of stories, absolutely loads of them.
Yeah.
I keep trying to get him on here, but he goes out and plays ladies football or something on a.
Does that? Well, he's a coach at
Braintree
Town.
Billericay,
Town.
No, I'll just put that in to wind him up a bit. Maybe he'll come on again. But there you go. Okay, so of all our, where do we see us going from here? I mean, so, let's put you on the spot. pick one of our new players, who's going to make it? Who's going to be the big star? Rob.
Oh, we already seen how Luke Cundle is quite quickly settled into the team. It'd be nice to think that we've got another Alex Ray there or another Timmy Cahill there, wouldn't it? You know, because it's good to see him. I know he gave a penalty away yesterday, but it's good to see him getting back as well. So he's a box-to-box player. And those of us that have been watching Millwall since 1800 and frozen to death can remember the great Keith Weller. I mean, would it be great if we had one of those type players in the team? He's the one at the moment that stands out for me.
Okay. Eammon, who's your pick of the bunch?
Nagley, I think he's going to be the business.
Okay.
I saw him yesterday. He held the ball up well, as I mentioned before. And I think his talent has been spotted, identified, and well cultured into what we need. And I think he will come through as a star. But on the other end of the pack, we have got homegrown talent. Let's not forget that. Bangura Williams is, I actually think, better than S.A. But there you go.
Okay, Chris, one player. Come on.
Well, go, Eammon. Palace have come back and they've offered us SA and 20 million for Bangura.
Well, it's about right, I reckon.
Well, I like to talk to people with experience. So talking to Mark Beard yesterday, who's coached most of these players, and I say, what's your verdict? He said Baker is probably the best he's seen. Baker is the three of the signings. Mark Beard has coached Crawley, Brighton, and he said Baker's like. He said what you've got there is unbelievable.
Well, obviously we haven't seen him yet, but
no, we haven't seen
him.
But yeah, so I'll go through people that's coached him who know, and he told me about Bangura ages ago, and also he's coached Messi, don't forget, and he does all the non-league and everything. I think he's coaching at Hull now. So I'm going to go by him, and he said Baker's going to be the player.
Just to be different, I think I'm going to go with Christian Kramer, whatever you pronounce it.
Kramer.
Like the way he gets down the line, and blow me down. Can't he cross the ball? Jesus. If you can get
well, we haven't seen him in his proper position yet, have we?
No, we haven't. And I think he looks very impressive where he's played. So happy days.
Like he's the women's favourite, going by the photos.
Oh, is he?
They reckon he's the goddess. The women, they go, "Oh, he's a player of the year already." I think without even kicking the ball.
Hard to believe, but women used to think that of me, mate.
Hard to believe that, yeah.
Yeah, very hard.
Yeah, very
right. Any other business? What have we got left? Next game's coming up. We've got Plymouth on Wednesday night.
West Brom Saturday.
From Saturday,
Preston
what do we
North
reckon?
End the following midweek, and then away to Derby, isn't it?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not worried about any of those. The way we're playing.
Good to see Jed back at Jed play West Brom, won't it? If he plays, the captain.
Well, he has started to play again over there.
Yeah, and still captain, and he. So it'd be good to see him down there. I think he'll get a warm reception.
He always does. Doesn't he? Got a few grey hairs now coming up above the ears, hasn't he?
Below the shorts, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about that, Chris. I don't look that closely. So what do we reckon?
Before the Plymouth game, we've got the tomorrow night.
I know. All right, there you go. There's the question. Who do you want? Seriously.
I think it's going to be a draw.
Do you know what, Eammon? I love that because I thought, wouldn't that be good to get Palace down at the Den? Oh, right there. Oh yeah. Anybody else?
Either of the two Manchester clubs, Newcastle United. We've got Liverpool to come through today, and either Arsenal or Aston Villa. One of those big ones. We don't want a team in our own league, do we?
I don't want to go up north at 12 o'clock afternoon kickoff. No.
No.
I want it to be at home at 12 o'clock. The train strike.
So you
Train
don't
strike
want
at
Newcastle
home at
away.
12 o'clock.
Yeah. I don't really care. I mean, I think I think there are teams there. I think Palace is obviously quite enticing for us, although it won't be considered as a big game. Man United, Liverpool, Newcastle would all be considered big games, but I think you've got to play them at the Den, because if we go away, we'll just get overwhelmed. But it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So okay, I'm gonna propose the P word, the playoff. Are we anywhere near it? Obviously, a couple think no.
I bet you buy your Panto tickets in February.
Behave,
Yeah.
man, for fuck's
Yeah.
sake.
But there are a lot of commentators who are suggesting we will be in the mix.
Can we get 52 points first before
Yeah.
we start talking about
Oh.
that? We've gone down on 52 points before,
All right,
and Peterborough went down on 54.
let's
get safe first.
let's put the question another way. Where do you think we're going to finish?
Mid-table.
Yeah, 12th.
Yeah.
Well,
8th.
yeah, I like 8th. Yeah, I like 8th. Right. Well, look, I think that's about it, gentlemen. Yeah, unless you've got anything else riveting that you want to, I'm just here to throw hand grenades in.
I come on here to have a laugh.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good job I made you laugh, then, isn't it?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm available for commissions.
Yeah.
Don't forget, West Brom game, football versus homophobia.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's
yeah.
a big game on that. And
Is it? Why?
Yeah.
What is that day then?
what is it? It's a Saturday, and
Yeah, I
they're
know.
playing West Bromwich Albion.
Yeah, I know, but what, is there an event?
Football against home. I'll send you some stuff about it all.
Oh,
Chris.
right.
You
Yeah.
should have gone and said, "Oh, Sean Daly had given you a sheet on that." Come on, what's
They
the matter
run,
with it?
I'll tell you what,
Send it to me as well.
the
well.
community runs so many events. There's no, it would fill a program. I mean,
They would easily.
I'd have to extend the program, make it bigger to put community.
Well, listen
Charge
to ours
more.
once a month, and you get old Sean talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll tell you something.
Their own flyer, not a flyer, but their own program, wouldn't you?
well, have a look on their website, because Community Roundup on there is very good each week.
Yeah,
I'll tell you. Let's go back to our percentage of supporters. Some of them won't even be able to spell homophobia.
I can't.
I can't spell that.
No, not
Oh,
Rob, not haemophilia, homophobia.
I'll get tongue twisted sometimes. I couldn't spell that.
no.
Allegedly.
Right. Anybody else want to throw anything in before we finish?
No.
What about a quick prediction for the Plymouth game?
Yeah, a draw.
That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Avoid
Yeah.
defeat. Yeah, it'd be nice.
I reckon that'll be a draw.
They're quite good
Because-
at home, aren't they? They're rubbish away, but they.
Well, they've pulled up. They're like us. The last few games, they've started to do well.
Yeah.
Plymouth. So
1-2 for me. 1-2.
And the thing is, the players are going to be resting today. They're trained tomorrow. They'll be travelling to Plymouth the next day. It's a big ask. But then again,
They've got a lot of travelling in the next
it's
couple
a
of weeks
lot
as
of
well.
travelling. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to
But
make you
don't
laugh
forget,
again.
we can rotate players now.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you laugh again, and I'm going to say 2-0 to us.
Right. All right.
There you go. Right, and with that, gentlemen, that is it. Thank you
Nice
very
to
much
see
for turning
everybody.
up.
Thank you.
See you
It
all
was a
soon.
delight. Take
Yeah.
How
care.
are you, Lions?
Cheers,
Keep
mate.
it safe on the streets out there.
Let's have some breakfast.
Gotta go to dinner.